this group, this is a chance for EVOS to kind of go back to the drawing board and say, okay, well, you know what? Geek Fam is a perceived weaker team. Let's just try and focus on what we need to really nail down and get more consistent as we get ready for playoffs next week.
Yeah, and as we head into Champ Select over here for EVOS Esports and Geek Fam, I find it so amusing. I've actually kind of like been keeping track here of the Nuno bans, just because I remember that Rafa was so excited. Then he was like, "Oh yeah, let's see some Nuno," and Nuno has actually been banned quite a lot out of
the
our
whole day. Almost.
Yeah, exactly. So out of our 8 or 7 rather matchups today, Nuno was banned like 6 times.
we got
like,
one.
I believe it's usually the first game. Yeah. So apparently they're like, no Rafa. But we did get that pick earlier. But yeah, what do you guys think of the initial picks right here of the bans? Rico, we'll start with you.
Okay, EVOS Esports, right off the bat, picking up such a strong early game top and jungle duo, Lee Sin and Renekton. For Rakan being picked up, I'm not going to be surprised if Orianna will be picked up as well, because Rakan and Orianna, I feel like, are the best combo to initiate this big shockwave. For Geek Fam, of course, they need that big disengage just to make sure that the Varus is going to be safe. But with this Senna being locked in, this could be a middle lane Varus.
Oh, that would actually be
no, yes. Senna Varus lane, rather.
Oh.
I got excited a little bit for the comeback of the double
Riku,
80 carry comp.
Check this out. Geek Fam, you know, if they want to make things interesting and they send the Varus mid lane, you have the Senna Gragas as a dragon duo fasting bottom lane here. The Jarvan is also a flexible pick, can be sent either in the mid lane, the jungle, or the Baron lane. So Geek Fam, they are playing in the shadows right now. The only thing that you could argue is a guaranteed like lock-in, it's not going anywhere, is Senna. It's going somewhere in the bottom lane. It can't go anywhere else.
Most definitely. Yeah, it's gonna be, if ever that's gonna be a Varus and Senna, then that's gonna be an incredibly strong poke lane. But at the same time, you're going up against a Xayah and Rakan, which can be incredibly oppressive depending on how Rich is gonna set these up. And especially, we've seen Valdez before invest resources towards the bottom lane, and this could be very detrimental.
Please do it.
I'm not gonna talk till it's locked in. Do it.
We're holding our breath right now.
Exit with a bang. Let's do it.
You just...
I mean...
We did it!
Oh my god!
We're gonna Teemo game!
I like it.
I'm speechless.
I like it.
I'm speechless.
So, I have a Teemo costume that I was potentially going to wear. However, because it's all yellow, the green screen and the chroma key was keying it out. So production said,
when you point the click CC, I'm losing the train of thought here. You just tilted me. To be fair,
EVOS Esports versus Geek.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's it. I'm cutting it there. That's the end of the conversation. EVOS Esports versus Geek Fam. Focus on the Teemo. I mean, that's what everyone wants to see. We'll see how viable this can be. We've seen a lot of interesting compositions. Let's zoom out. Let's take a back step, see the bigger picture. I mean, we do see the Shen coming here to help clear out some of the wave quickly, so they have a better, some more prio against G4. And we also see Gragas mid.
We do indeed see the Gragas mid. A bit of cheeky level 1s coming in from Geek Fam once again, and they're going to get punished.
Ignite comes across, next gonna flash away, but a fall through from the blue team, EVOS Esports with the first blood.
That is what Xayah Rakan does to you. And I mean, when we think about what Teemo does, yes, visibility is great from Twisted Fate, because if Teemo is hiding in the bush, that Destiny's Gate is going to review him. So that's true, you're not wrong there, Grandin. But what TF does when he pots up to the top lane is he will want to stun cut you, and the stun cut is an AA modifier. I love that ignite from Tipper, just the swag points. And yeah, so Teemo, he can blind the Ruthless Predator, he can blind the stun cut, so he just needs to be afraid of the kick. So in my mind, this Teemo 5th pick is just a 6-hit counter pick.
Alright, we'll see how he plays into that. For now, let's focus back on what the junglers are doing, because you see 69 moving into the mid lane, looking for some pressure onto G4. Forces away the Twisted Fate, but this has opened up space for Valdez, not to be confused for Valdez, LCK caster. Well, he's going to make his way up to the top side. That's what you were discussing earlier. It's the Renekton Lee Sin combo up against the Teemo.
And Timo is still forced to walk away from the wave. Can't do anything right here. You might be able to blind the Ruthless Predator, but you can't blind the rest of the spells. Can't blind that Cow the Meat. Can't blind the Resonating Strike. Look at this. G4 is making his way up as well. They don't even want to allow the Shang to get back to lane.
Well, but they're looking for a second catch onto Nyx, and it's going to come to fruition. EVOS find another in the bottom side, and things are looking a little bit dicey for Geek Fam.
They are indeed. It's not off to a great start here, I'm gonna tell you, Gamenism. And look at the Shang. He needs to move soon because he's gonna get a warning for being AFK.
Yeah, level 3 against the 5
Wait, he's
Tipper.
invisible.
It's going to be
Look at him, he's
difficult
creeping
to get very much more done. Will be spotted out eventually, just trying to soak up as much EXP as he can. But there we have it. Velda's going to make his way up, moving onto the Shang. There we go. No kick available, but a Destiny and the Gate probably going to be used. Holds on to it. G4 still waiting on that. 69 now collapsing in on the Lee Sin. A little bit difficult. Has to try to commit something here. Blind goes across, but that's it.
Blind goes across, and that's it. Sends a parting gift. And actually, you know what? That made me realize there was something Shiki the Shank could have done. When they're threatening to dive on him, he could have just hit under tower and pretended he was backed off. They wouldn't know he's invisible.
Well,
so much
Cat
potential
Satan
in this Teemo.
maybe trying to make Nyx invisible. Maybe trying to make Momo invisible. Invisible from lane. Won't be able to get a solo kill. Just backs off. But strong pressure coming in from EVOS Esports. Bot side is dominating top side. They've been able to consistently put the pressure on the Shang, who's lost a lot of gold and EXP as a result of that. In the meantime, G4 is also continuing the pressure in the mid side. He's been able to send Haki back for an early recall and gonna be able to come back in with the Rod of Ages, compared to Haki with the 2 components.
Yeah, 2 components from Haki is not gonna be super great situation to be in. Rod of Ages is gonna start ticking, and you know what that means, Gamenism? Means when the clock hits 4, EVOS, they're gonna have a heads up in the next team fight. Haki is trying his best. He needs to push this out. He needs to reset. He needs to get the roll. I can't stress how important that's gonna be. There we go. Valdez will recall as well. Everyone's getting in their buys. We're gonna see a big tussle right now, as we usually expect at the 4-minute mark, Gamenism.
But it's Blade of the Rune King for the Renekton, whereas we only start to see the Haunting Guys as well as the Ninja Tabies for the team. Also, a little bit lopsided, it seems like. EVOS Esports just seem to have so much more power in this early game as opposed to what Geek Fam are able to afford. That being said, though, if we see a clutch blind, that could potentially be a game changer in these fights. EVOS start up the Rift Herald first.
Starting off the Rift Herald, EVOS are going to take this one away, and we are seeing what they're doing to the Shank here.
They find a catch onto the Teemo. This should be it. A little bit more damage comes across with the Ignite just for safe measure. Make sure to collect the kill.
Yeah, that's the end of my point. I didn't get to make it. See what they're doing to the Shank here, and they're gonna do more. They're gonna drop the Rift Herald. They don't even need to, actually. They're just gonna take this turret. Catch tons here as well. Gonna save their Rift Herald. Gonna make their way mid as a 4-man unit. Gonna break that one, and it's all but lights out for Geek Fam. Keep in mind, this team, they came here in their interviews. We hear them say they're dealing with a lot of issues behind the scenes. There's a lot of troubles for them. We don't know about that. We're unaware about that. EVOS, they don't care. They're going for the inhibitor.
Absolutely, and probably could escort the Rift Herald in for a second charge as well. I mean, Rich is going to maybe look to try and make that happen. Seems to be the case, and Rift Herald should be able to find the second charge. He's only going to find a little bit of damage onto the turret, though.
Gotta get one more charge in, and EVOS Esports, 5 minutes in game, finding themselves 5,000 gold up. It's looking like a pretty good situation for them. You know, we talk about the game, we talk about how a lot of games have no stakes. Like in yesterday, we saw the the top 2 teams play in the last match of the day. There were no stakes. They were having a bit of fun. Here today, there are still stakes, even though there aren't big ones. But if EVOS Esports, if they drop, correct me if I'm wrong here, Grandon, if they drop 1 game to Geek Fam, they will be the 4th seed.
If they drop 1 game to Geek Fam, let me confirm this piece of information, because I do believe hearing about that before, and this might be the case. We might actually have something like that happen because of the win from Flash Wolves. Yeah, so if they actually tie, they will be 1 point below Flash Wolves, and that will make them 4th seed. So you're correct. If Geek Fam get 1 win here, EVOS Esports will drop to 4th.
Alright, exactly. So they have to play it very careful. They don't want to risk dropping a single game to Geek Fam. Because like we talked about, 4th seed means you don't have that winner bracket buffer or that top.
Yeah, they're trying to jump on the Cat Center, but it's going to be difficult because they don't have to follow up. Not enough from 69. Just have to back away. Valdez is right around the corner as well, but Haki chasing after, but a little bit too late.
A little bit too late indeed, and it's gonna be EVOS. They have the inside track on mid lane. G4, he's gonna have his way with that turret, gonna start chipping that one down.
I feel very reassured when you say the same things I say at the end. Makes me feel like I'm heard. Makes me feel like I'm right. I haven't been able to answer your questions very well, but
three-man cake.
EVOS have a question and an answer down the bottom side. Finds the three-man cake. Finds the dominance with tons of damage for the KO. And it's a big pick-off for EVOS, and it just feels like they're in full control here.
Full control indeed is the name of the game for EVOS. They want to prove that they are the rightful third seed. Keep in mind, this team came in here. They are the reigning champions of the Summer Super Cup. They are the champions of the Icon Series Thailand. There we go. That's why you picked the Teemo. You have a cute little icon to go with that one. Sadly, he doesn't have that much gold, so we're not going to see the full power of the Teemo unlocked here. But, you know, we get to see some of it. We get a preview.
Love to see a little bit of that power come across, but they're going to have to decide how they want to dedicate their resources, because some of it's going to have to go to Momo, some of it's going to have to go over to the Shang, and then, well, both of them desperately want this golden EXP as quickly as possible, so they're able to provide damage. But then you have to ask who's going to be the front line, because 69, he's going to make a detour. He's going to pick up the Black Cleaver. Well, I say detour, but we're not sure what his build's going to be, so Black Cleaver pickup, he's going to be a little bit squishier than he would like.
Indeed, he's going to pick that one up. He's going to be pretty squishy. It's pretty standard build, but normally when we see Jarvan buy it, he's not behind in gold. But this time around, 69, he's so behind in gold. He has the damage, but like you said, he's going to be super squishy. Going to a team comp with Renekton, Lee Sin, Xayah, even Twisted Fate does a pretty good chunk of damage, especially considering G4 is going for that Lich Bane build for a little bit more burst. It's going to be a pretty tough time for 69 to engage these team fights. He will have the heals, he will have the shields from Nyx, but it's not going to be a lot.
10 seconds Nyx on this Infernal Drake. The Shang's not going to be playing towards the bottom side, so it's interesting. EVOS Esports get some control around the Dragon early on. Geek Fam, they're kind of being shoved off, kind of being bullied out and away from the pit here.
To get away from the pit, and this is just going to be EVOS picking this one up basically uncontested. I don't think anyone's going to come in and pick this one up. Yeah, there we go.
The Shang is trying to find some pressure in the barrel lane though, so if he's able to shove out these lanes quickly enough, maybe might be able to trade for some chip damage on the turret, and if he's able to rinse and repeat that, could potentially find some gold for himself, and that could be where Geek Fam found a window.
I was trying to find a point to add on to that, but I really could not. I'm sorry, Gimnis, if you're on your own in that one. The only window to be found, I think, is the one that EVOS opens to their financial freedom as they, you know, march into the base, take out the towers, take out the creeps, take out the kills, build up their portfolio with Franklin Templeton.
Thank you very much for that insight, Omo. It's a great thing to see how much you love them.
I love them.
We gotta really appreciate them, and EVOS Esports.
My paychecks, I love them.
Oh, well, there we have it. Baron coming up in about half a minute, so EVOS Esports just going to play towards that. Looks like they're just looking to secure the game quite easily. It's
Quickness pop.
trying to find...
Quickness pop.
Probably looking for something, yeah. Probably looking for something there. I think Tipper was unable to find the kill onto the Shang. I mean, you have the Teemo. Pretty slippery, has the Rocket Bell as well.
Yeah, pretty slippery. I think everyone in this game is building rocket belts except for EVOS. Keep in mind, for them there are stakes. For Geek Fam, there are none. EVOS want to make sure they don't risk losing this game at all. Geek Fam, they're having a little bit of fun.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate for EVOS here. They just need to play this one out, get the 2-0. Geek Fam, let's see what they can try and get done. But it's EVOS getting control over the jungle. They've been able to find pressure across the map. The obvious objective is going to be that Baron. They find the catch-off first, though, so maybe it will take down Valdez, but he's going to be able to stay alive using the Hourglass. Now, kicks away 69. He tries to get over the wall, but unfortunately, he's still blocked over there. Going to get taken down. Cataclysm comes across, and it locks down EVOS Esports as a Chains of Corruption come across as well. But a flash forward, can't say anything. He's come online with the double kill, and there we have it. The gold card primed and ready, jumping into the fight. They're moving on to Haki first, but we still have Rich leading the charge under the turrets, under the inhibitors. We'll find one more in that process.
Very, very clean stuff there from Katsatan, flashing forward with the feathers, and he's gonna pick up 1 kill, 2 kills at the end of that one, sitting at 10,000 gold at 10 minutes in the game. He has 2-4 items right now, 404, Geek Fam not found. EVOS, they are gonna be running away with this game.
Trying to pull away with it, see if they can maybe just close it out quickly enough. It's been a long day for these teams, and the playoffs are just about to arrive. Group stage ends tonight, and well, EVOS Esports hoping to leapfrog their way up into the 3rd seed, so they don't have to start from the lower bracket.
Yep. That's going to be so important, right? We talk about how important that buffer is. While I think EVOS Esports, they'll be able to put up a good fight against anyone from Group A, you still want to make sure that you have something to fall back on. Keep in mind, in their regional leagues, in their playoffs in Thailand, EVOS Esports, they actually did drop to the lower bracket, I think in the first or second round of playoffs, before they found their groove and they swept the whole thing coming into the grand finals. They might need that here again, so it's also important that you have that buffer.
But we're also a little bit surprised to see EVOS Esports come in as potentially the third seed, depending on how this series goes. Well, I'm going to hold that point because they're finding the catch on the hockey first. Well, VODs has joined in as well now, looking to maybe take down 69, but he flashes away just in time. And it's surprising to see them possibly come in as the third seed because, well, frankly, they were the champions for the previous Summer Super Cup, and so a lot closer than we expected. Tipper will fall to mobile, though.
Yeah, will fall to mobile, and unfortunately the Teemo counter pick doesn't work out in this situation. The blind is not going to save him from the Renekton as we see G4 marching his way forward.
Yeah, you have to respect the man, have to realize that he's walking in view of the gold card. It's going to put you on timeout and makes it very difficult to get anything done. EVOS now playing it slow, just methodically dismantling the game. Look at the goal advantage, 16,000 at 12 minutes. I mean, frankly, apart from those 2 kills on the Dragon, it's been almost a perfect game for EVOS.
It's not far off from a perfect game indeed, but the 2 kills, one for hockey, one for mobile, will keep it from being that EVOS. Of course, they need to make a statement win here. I'm trying to grasp for straws. I mean, it's gonna be a bit hard. They did just get rolled by SBTC earlier today, and now that was a statement win. Against Geek Fam, they just want to make it clean. They want to make it methodical. They want to close it out with as little mistakes as possible. You know, it's just another day on the job for them. They want to secure their third place seed. We cannot emphasize this enough, and I think they are on the right track for that.
Just farming it up, playing safe. Geek Fam are taking their time with this process. You know, no need to overextend, take risks, especially against a team as good as EVOS. And, well, frankly, the gold has swung heavily within their favor anyway, so it's difficult to do so. Here we have it, the re-engage coming through from Rich. Jets gets a double man knock-up. G4 looking to join in on the fight, gets some information, comes with the gold card, looking at the flash. They take down Nyx first, and now maybe looking to move on to hockey. This is revenge for their previous kill. They got onto them. They get the gold card back onto the Gragas. Katsatan still going very aggressively forward because he has the feather stall by stuck in the Cataclysm, so he has to flash away.
In the meantime,
it's still alright. I mean, Tipper is in the side lane, still getting stuff done in this time.
Yeah, he gets the inhibitor actually. I didn't even notice that. Amazing analysis there, Gamenism.
Thank you very much.
The slack. And this is going to be Baron here for EVOS Esports. I mean, they are not really giving any chances to Geek Fam to get back into the game here. And who can blame them? They just want to close this one out. They want to close out the day. They want to close out the group stages. And they want to end Geek Fam's run. They want to secure their third place here.
So EVOS are just gonna play this one out slowly and take down the rest of the inhibitors. I mean, there's just 2 left standing, 14.5 minutes in. It's looking pretty good for EVOS Esports. Should secure them their first win, and much to the dismay of a lot of the fans, Teemo won't be able to make much of a presence this game. Will we see more of this? I'm not quite sure. EVOS Esports, well, looking at the way they played against it, I think it's been pretty obvious how this pick is gonna turn out.
I don't know what to tell you. He has Awakened Soul Stealer as well, and goodbye to Mr. Nyx.
Oh yeah, you don't really have to tell me anything because EVOS Esports, they're just
So
about
much
to
to
end
say.
it here. They're about to end this game. Tipper's gonna take his time in the side lane, escort the wave in, but frankly, I mean, you can just clump in 5 men in the mid lane. I don't think that Geek Fam can get very much done against you considering how far behind they are. Well, G4, he's prepped right around the corner with the gold card. Get a Chains of Corruption onto VODs, but frankly doesn't do all too much because the gold card, get a damage over on Cross onto Momo, take him down. VODs, he still has a Guardian Angel, not even a threat of his life. And EVOS Esports will slowly constrict the life out of Geek Fam, take them down one at a time after time. Moving on to the Nexus now, it's EVOS Esports with the first Game 1 win.
Time after time, EVOS will move on to playoffs, and they will likely secure their third seed if the first game...
Group B respectively in a 0-2 fashion. Now, that match is going to be, I believe, a best of... For quarterfinals, I don't remember if it's best of 5 or best of 3 going into the playoffs bracket, but considering that EVOS dropped that series to Divine in a 0-2 fashion, EVOS are just looking to just one more time It doesn't matter if it's Geek Fam, it doesn't matter if it's any other team. EVOS Esports still want to take this game as seriously as they can because they need to make sure that they are practicing the right steps. Whenever they go for rotations and setting up objective control, they need to make sure that the wave priority is in the correct place. They need to make sure that they have vision established in the jungle aggressively so they can ward out choke points and make sure that it doesn't matter who they're playing against, that they would not be able to walk into those choke points and contest those objectives for free. EVOS Esports are going to try and close this game out as quickly and as cleanly as possible.
And
Yeah.
right now, heading into Champ Select, first bands coming in, and the initial picks. Riku, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look what, just as Rafa said, they're aiming to close the game, and EVOS Esports not even changing their draft a little bit. They already know that this is one of their strongest formation. Valdez on the Lee Sin, early game aggression, Thipper on the Riven, very hard to basically lock down. Zion Rakan, 2v2 situation, pretty stable. And whatever will be the mid laner G4, again, could be Twisted Fate again, could still be the Orianna, which is incredibly strong, with the Rakan, with the Riven as that ball delivery system. And for Geek Fam, I don't think we're going to be seeing Teemo anymore. We're going to be seeing this single target focused composition. So picks are the key for Geek Fam on this game number 2.
Oh, there you predicted right. The Orianna
Yes.
for G4. Rafa,
Again,
what are your thoughts on this draft?
EVOS have not only, as Riku pointed out, early game aggression in this Lee Sin. Valdez can explode the bottom side of the map towards that dragon lane. You have one of the strongest duo lanes in existence for Wild Rift in this Zion Rakan.
Game to win it, to prove it, and maybe, just maybe, help their friends out Flash Wolves steal third seed away from EVOS.
Indeed, and let's all just take a deep breath. It's been a long ride, it's been a long journey, but we've made it here to the end of the group stages. It's been a really long one for the players, for the casters, for the production team, and I'm hyped to see what our last game is going to shape like. I mean, it's looking like a. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words. It's really been a long day. But
No
it's
worries. I mean, you've been
looking like
having fun.
It's a more
You don't trip over
orthodox.
your words when you're talking about Franklin Templeton with One Esports, so
I
I'm
know,
good with that,
right?
Omo.
The
You've
only
been doing
time
a
I'm
great
on the
job
ball
there.
is when I'm memeing. So it really goes to
You're
show.
memeing. You're absolutely serious in those moments.
That
You don't
is-
even know
that
what
is
you're
true.
talking
I'm
about
sorry,
anymore.
I take that back. I hope Franklin isn't watching this right now. But yeah, but we're seeing a much more orthodox draft from the side of Geek Fam, which means
Yeah.
we might be in for a good game. Jokes Tipper's gonna solo kill him at level 2.
Well, just putting on the pressure, making sure the Shang understands the
Who's the
stakes
boss?
involved here. He's gonna have to go and grab the honey fruit early on. You can see the pressure already being applied coming through as, if that landed, barrier definitely expanded at least.
Barrier is expanded, so that's gonna be
Not
good.
expanded.
Not
Would have been
expanded.
expanded.
I'm just tripping over my words. I was drinking water at full compassion, so you got me there yet again caught in
Alright.
the act of drinking water. But yeah, look, he's gonna be forced to recall, which means right now Tipper can do anything he wants with this wave. And do you remember the games we saw EVOS play against SBTC earlier today, Gibnism?
Yes, I do believe
Those were
I
some
do.
Pretty nasty games from SBTC, but also from Tipper. He was the only one really holding EVOS in the game. And this time around, if he gets a lead on this Riven, we know what he's capable of pulling off here.
Yeah, if he's able to get ahead and he's able to rotate around, I mean, it kind of alleviates so much pressure off of Valdez. He doesn't need to.
Yep.
The Lee Sin no longer has to be the huge playmaker. You can rely on the Ribbon to also kind of contribute to
here
the
we
fact.
go.
Aggressive moves coming in from 69. He's going to get the jump on the Thipper, and you have to electrocute, so that's a lot of harass coming through. That's going to put the Shang in a really good spot in lane.
Yeah, a lot of help here from 69. It was a smart start to the play from Tipper. He recognizes that I can't walk up to this wave. It's too far out right now. 69, he comes up, finds Tipper trying to do the crux to pass the time. And this is going to be a counterplay here. It's going to be a bit of an
but
iffy one,
Valdez,
though.
he was a little bit too early, but we'll see if this matters or not, because they do manage to find the first knock, but Aqua Prison comes across, so it's going to be a trade kill. They're looking for a second on the Momo, timing out the barrier, a few
Oh,
more auto
no,
attacks, but
this
look
is
at how
bad.
much damage G4 is taking.
all die.
Cassidy is at the bot side as well. Flashes away from the chains of corruption. Momo looking for
Take
this
it.
return kill, takes the hit, and will find the kill. Valdez barely escapes. Haki will take him down.
Aki, he has no more charges to Spirit Rush, so that's just gonna be it for him. And that's gonna be some trade kills back and forth. EVOS, they get 2, but they lose 2 of their own. So it's a bit of a messy dive here from EVOS Esports. And I remember our analyst there saying as well, we need to see EVOS prove that they can get some clean dives off. I'm surprised for one that they even managed to find a dive timing with Orianna, a champion notorious for not being able to leave the mid lane, being kind of like an immobile turret in the mid lane. But here we go, we're gonna look at the counter dive in top lane. We actually didn't even notice this. Just gonna get on top of Tipper, reset the turret aggro, hextag out, nade him with the barrier, with the flash. They get out of dodge. What is this? Geek Fam, they have a lead here, Gaminism.
Look at the form they're on when they're playing for conventional picks. When they drop the Teemo, they're suddenly looking so much better and they find this early game advantage. We're able to even dive Tipper here. And we were talking about how Tipper could become that big playmaker if they were to give him the space to really make things happen. And, well, frankly, it's just been looking so good for them. Now Nyx is going to walk in aggressive. He's going to make himself a tantalizing bait. He's going to put himself on a hook here. And EVOS Esports will see if they go and bite into it because 69, he's just right around the corner in the brush waiting for something to happen.
And this is the Dragon timer though, so it's good that we see 69 secure the push in for his Dragon lane. They get the push, they're gonna get the inside track on this Dragon right now. EVOS, they're just gonna be trading the Rift Herald. I think this is something they're gonna be very okay with here. And I do like that he brought up, you know what, it's finally time that we see them play around the Shang. We've always seen that the Shang was carried for them regionally, locally. Yet on the regional stage, he hasn't been able to find so much. He's been relegated to tank duty more often than not. It's gonna be
close though. What, they're going to jump in with the Hextech ultimate and gets kicked away by the Dragon's Rage, but they're jumping on the Rage. Might be able to find a catch on the catch. Will barely miss out. 69, he's here to try and maybe equalize, jumping on the G4, but it's difficult to flash forward, looking to take down the Orianna. They finally get knocked out with the Aqua Prison as well. Valda's trying to jump back in, looking to take down the Kazik, the heal coming across, but it's barely not enough. This Geek Fam will rotate onto the turret instead.
Rift Herald goes to EVOS, but kills traded for Geek Fam, and that's going to be first turret of the game as well. They are keeping the gold lead. 1,000 gold up still.
Yeah, but EVOS Esports Tipper is in the side lane. Is going to be able to equalize things a little bit more here. Maybe even pull themselves up into a lead. But overall, Geek Fam is still, I mean, you have to take kind of mental note of the unspoken advantage, the non-gold specific advantage. You got the Clown Drake. You got the Clown Drake.
That is true. That's something. But I think for now, I think we'll be happier with gold. And honestly, if you look at Tipper, he's managed to find himself back into the game. He took the bot turret. That's going to be big. The solo plates, the solo gold. It's going to bump him quite a bit up.
Yeah, but that's only going to make him barely even up against the Shang, who has been, for all intents and purposes, been kind of had gold funneled into him. He's been having a pretty good laning phase for himself. He's also had that kill handed to him in the top side. And so, well, now I'm hoping to see that Shang is actually going to continue to match Tipper, and they're able to free up Haki, allow Haki to go to help the rest of his team.
Yeah, Haki's gonna try his best. Look at the Spooky Ghost come out from Geek Fam, taking a page out of the MBR playbook with this Varus comp, with this Siege comp, with this Poke comp. It's gonna be super effective here because if you look at Tipper on this Riven, if you look at Valdez on this Lee Sin, what do they want to do? They want to find flanks. They want to find ways onto Momo. They want to get on the backline. And for that, they need to flank them. So the Spooky Ghost is gonna be so effective here. And we're seeing a bit of a race now, Gaminism.
Yeah, the trading sides, EVOS Esports, I mean, honestly, it looks like, yeah, EVOS Esports should have the advantage. The fact that they have the Rift Herald, unfortunately, they're only playing with 2, so is this going to be enough for EVOS as they continue to siege onto the second tier turret? You see the recalls come across. It's going to be Nyx making his way up, as well as +1. I believe that's going to be Haki. Yep, that's going to be the case. Spooky Ghost come across the Twin Shadows onto Valdez, but it's going to be a little bit difficult to convert that into a kill to get the kick across, but find a catch onto the Lee Sin, and this should be enough. A little bit more damage from Haki. They confirm that kill, but turrets dropping to EVOS Esports.
Oh, but Tipper takes out the Shang on the other side of the map. This is going to be turrets for EVOS. Like you said, they reclaim the gold lead. Valdez does drop, but so does the Shang. Staying a little bit too long there in the side lane means that Tipper will just pick him up. 1,000 gold lead for EVOS. Barely anything at this point in the game, but still, they've swung the gold right back around.
Being able to finally come up with the golden advantage. I mean, we saw it for a small moment when Tipper got a turret. I mean, this just turrets have been the main source of income for EVOS Esports. You can see that they haven't really been looking to take the fight to them. The kills are relatively lower than what we've seen from them generally. But they've still been able to build a lot of gold by split pushing, by funneling it onto Tipper. And you can see it's paid off because he was able to take down the Shang.
Indeed, taking down the Shang is just the start here for Tipper though. We know what he can do in these team fights. We saw what he did to SBTC's Varus. I think that was Kirell's Varus as well. I feel like whatever he's gonna do here to Geek Fam is gonna be just as nasty, if not worse. We really have to look out for Tipper. I can't emphasize this enough. One of the premier carry Baron laners now on his signature Riven again. It's not gonna be easy.
And we're just one of the many signature champions he's had, honestly. We've seen him play and excel in so many different champion picks. That being said now, mid lane is looking at a little bit of aggression. Geek Fam barely missed the chance to get the catch onto Rich, who's, I mean, just looking so intimidating. Watch him walk forward, no fear in the world. He's been so consistently able to find these pickoffs onto the primary targets of Geek Fam. See if this is going to continue to be the case as they do get the love jump onto 69. VODs falls him across, but will get charmed out, will get hit by the bubble, loses some tempo, loses some space, but Tipper, he's jumping back in. The Hextech ultimatum will lock him in the cage. It's not going to be enough though. EVOS walk away scot-free.
As far as things go, this is not the end of the world for EVOS Esports. Not losing anyone. Oh boy, jinxed it.
Show a little bit of respect there, recalling the face of Shang and Momo. I mean, come on, EVOS.
Man, this is just such a difficult situation to be in for EVOS Esports. You don't want to be behind. You've played such a long game. Here we go.
I mean, well, here we go. It's a one kill. Tipper's coming back. It's looking like Tipper the sequel as he's maybe able to take down Nyx. We saw the first one off in the side lane with the Ignite. Takes down the Nami.
Takes down the Nami, and that's just gonna be him getting out of dodge there. 69, pretty cheeky, comes down to the Dragon lane, pushes that out a bit. Ketsutan wants to stay here. He wants to get some damage on the turret, but we see the power of Varus just nukes out the wave. And honestly, it's not the greatest situation for EVOS Esports to be in. I was trying to make this point earlier, right? But the fight started. This team, we talk about how they actually need this win. They need to secure the third seed. I'm sure Flash Wolves, they're watching this one with bated breath right now.
Yeah.
It's been a long day for EVOS. They need to really get a win here, but it's not off to a great start. I have faith in their late game decision making, in their macro, but it's not a spot you want to be in.
Absolutely. Well, you don't really want to have to rely on this late game macro game when, for all intents and purposes, you should be looking to try and close out with a statement game up against Geek Fam, who have been able to put up a fight in the second one, consistently holding on, and you can now start to see as well 4 Twin Shadows enchantments available for the Geek Fam, who have been able to use this to quite a good degree, spotting out exactly where EVOS Esports are, and it seems to be paying off well for them. The issue seemed to have been a lack of vision and information. Well, this Twin Shadow enchantment is kind of making up for it, but takes away a little bit of that power from the fighting side. So the Shang's gonna face off against Tipper, who's gonna get caught in the Hextech ultimatum. But here we go, Rich joins into the fight, making it an unfair one as they take down the top side half of Geek Fam.
They do indeed, and this is gonna be 2 quick kills for EVOS. Quicker on the rotation, that's gonna be the name of the game here. That's how SBTC beat them earlier today, and that's how they're beating Geek Fam here in the last match of the group stages. G4, he's gonna be scaling up, right? That's something we didn't quite touch on, but since he's on this Orianna, he's not gonna be the typical early game powerhouse we see him on when he's on champions like Ahri, Twisted Fate. He's not going to be making plays on the map, but he's going to be steadily, consistently farming his way up. And you know when we get to the mid to late game team fights, he is going to be crucial.
Well, collapse coming in from EVOS Esports, who might be trying to jump onto Haki, but seems a little bit too far away. They're going to back off, but the Baron is up now, so that's a potential objective for them to try and work towards. And if EVOS Esports are able to get this, then they might be able to work against some of the waves. There's a lot of wave clear on the side of Geek Fam between the Varus and between the Ahri. It's quite difficult. Well, I think with the Baron, it should make things easier for the EVOS Esports side.
Yeah, and look at this right now. This is truly the MBR playbook. 4 Twin Shadows for the side of Geek Fam. They're just gonna make sure that they know where EVOS Esports are at all time. And I can't emphasize how important this is. They need to make sure Tipper is not gonna one-shot their backline. This guy's nearly on 3 items, and I think he can take this 1v2.
Here we go. This is round 2, trying to jump back on Tipper once again. He's gonna get isolated pretty soon. I mean, the minion's not gonna do much for him. He's gonna get taken down, and 69 finds the pickup there. Oh, actually gonna go to the Shang.
Oh, this is gonna be a big risk though, because of those Twin Shadows. They see the camp.
Yep, so they have to back away from the Baron. It's going to be a bit too risky to try and force this now. Twin Shadows, the first, the second. I mean, it just seems like an entire family of spooky ghosts. Looking at the 7-month Ghost Festival here, I'm not even sure if half of the audience
I
gets
don't
that
want to talk
reference.
about that. Let's move on. I don't want to, put any caster curse on anyone.
Oh boy, I mean, I can't
not
avoid
something I
that,
want to
right?
be thinking about.
I can't avoid that. I'm already knee deep in it.
It was nice knowing you. I'm looking forward to casting with my next co-caster, Infinity.
Oh,
Thank you very much for
absolutely.
your service, Gimminism.
You're very welcome. Well, EVOS Esports now, they're maybe looking to try and grab this dragon. Geek Fam have collected the first 2 in this second game, and so third one could be nice for EVOS to have. It could open up the option of the Inferno Elder Drake as a possible win condition. Either way, should be quite impactful. But Geek Fam, they've really been able to make good use of this bomb side pressure, and third dragon, if they get the 4th Elder Inferno, it could very well be a game for them to win.
It's doable for sure. I wouldn't say it's an impossible scenario. It's just that I trust in EVOS's mid to late game macro. This dragon is gone, but it looks like they want
Here
to
we
fight.
go. They're looking to try and
It's
force
the
the
boss.
issue. They jump in, but Rich is going to go down first. The Shockwave comes across, gets a catch on the 2. Dragon's Rage not going to be able to execute the rest. Haki
Oh,
going
man.
down low. The Ignite will take him down eventually, and it's Cat Satan that finds it. Geek Fam will sneak away the dragon though.
Yeah, and I just said I trust in their mid to late game decision making. Right away, they want to prove me wrong. They dive in unnecessarily, way too fast of a team fight. No one could follow up on that play, and that's gonna be Geek Fam taking, or rather trading a kill and taking the dragons.
They're going to move onto the mid turret as well. You see Velda's quite nearby. It's a little bit too ambitious to try and get a play in mid lane, so just gonna kick it back, sit back, relax, maybe reset in this time before things gonna happen again.
Yeah, just gonna go for a quick reset, but I want to point out the items and I want to point out the scaling difference. Geek Fam, this is their strongest point in the game. They really need to emphasize that they need to, hold down the throttle. They need to make sure that EVOS cannot keep scaling up for free. They need to start threatening either split pushes, objectives. They might not have an ADC marksman here, but they have a Kha'Zix who is great at doing Baron. With these spooky ghosts, they can start it off, they can look turns, they can spot out EVOS, but they really need to be doing something. Because if EVOS keeps scaling, 3 items on Xayah, 3.5 on Riven, 2.5 on Orianna, it's gonna get problematic.
I see where you're coming from, Momo, and I have to say, I mean, at least with Geek Fam right now, they've been able to get some decent pressure on the side lanes. You can see that apart from that initial trade to the on the Baron lane and the Dragon lane, EVOS Esports have been at a deadlock. They haven't been able to find a turret otherwise, and so, they still have a small window to make a couple of mistakes. It's not a huge buffer, but at the very least, Geek Fam can afford to make a mistake or two and still be able to hold on to this game. So looking to maybe play around that, they're trying to see if they can go for something like the Baron in this time, or just wait for the Elder Inferno, because that seems like a huge pickup for the Geek Fam.
It is. It's gonna be a huge pickup for them for sure. I agree. They don't necessarily have to flip the game on a Baron.
Shang
but
and
can go-
Tipper are fighting
Oh,
for this
boy.
one, but it's Tipper Part
Oh,
3
gets
is
out.
the biggest sequel. This is the blockbuster.
Oh, man.
Unfortunately, won't be able to find it there. The Shang's gonna come in now. Jumps onto Veldas, tries to trade back, tries to maybe equalize. Well, he's still holding on for dear life. The Dragon's Rage going to kick him back into the mid lane. He survives through it all.
He gets away with his life, and this is gonna be Tipper. Even though he doesn't get the kill onto the Shang, he burns everything and he gets the turret. Keep in mind, Shang was forced to use his flash as well. Tipper has his own, so that's gonna be big in their next face-off. This threat from EVOS is mounting. Geek Fam, there is a timer building. You can wait for the Elder Dragon, but will you still be strong enough to take a team fight?
Well, absolutely. We're starting to see some of those issues arise now, and the fact that Veldas was down to the bottom side earlier, was there in time to apply some pressure there as well. I mean, that just is well, icing on the cake for EVOS Esports. Not only were they able to win the 1v1 mechanical fight, they were able to macro rotate in time to assist that should it go awry for them. Geek Fam maybe trying to slow things down. As I say that, they find a catch back on the 69, who's likely going to go down. The Guardian Angel will come across, and the Corrupting Chains won't be able to connect, so it won't buy them much time over the back. We see the Shang trying to jump into the back, maybe build some chaos, maybe pull the attention away from EVOS, but he won't be able to buy enough time. The rest of the team is following, and Tipper has come online, and he's so damn massive.
And just like that, it's the Tipper show. We know what happens when he gets Riven, and he proves it to us once again. Such a clean combo. Flash, Wind Slash, and then using his Q spells to get on top of Geek Fam. And all of that started with one little mistake. Geek Fam, 69, he got caught out. He made a mistake. He ventured too deep into EVOS's jungle, and EVOS, they sent him a message. They took him down. They aced his team. Baron, Elder, EVOS won everything. Now let's take a look at this, right? 69 gets caught, but keep your eyes on Tipper. This is a great start to the fight here from Rich. Even comes back to charm up the Shank, but look at Tipper. He saves his wind slash. 1, 2, flash, second and third, and that's it. And he's gonna clean up the members of Geek Fam. You know, I'm trying to find a better way to cast the Riven combos. I don't really know how it goes, but it's gonna be difficult for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Broken Blade 1, Broken Blade 2. I mean, how do you even go about that?
I don't know. We're just counting.
It's like, we're counting. We're back to the masterclass, Omo. It's a masterclass 1, 2, 3. EVOS Esports.
Right.
They don't want to count the 4. They don't want to count the 4 dragons. So they grab the one, the only important one, the Elder Inferno. EVOS Esports, while we were off in that terrain talking about what happened back by the Baron Pit, they've already moved on. Grab this also important, critical Elder Inferno, and now putting on the pressure, laying on the heat. Geek Fam need to find some way to respond.
Geek Fam do indeed need to find some way to respond, and I can tell you it's not going to be easy. They don't win out in the battle of scaling. Now they've lost the Inferno, so they no longer have that win condition. They've lost the Baron, so EVOS have that win condition. Just some love taps from the two junglers. I do want to point out the Shank did get the turret there, but there's no way he can fight Tipper ever again.
Look at these angles though, Omo. I'm not sure what EVOS are trying to go for. Where's Rich trying to come in from?
They're looking cheeky right now. They're trying to find some angles. They find one on the Shank. Oh,
they are, and the Dragon's Rage was expanded early. He dodged it. Wow,
I actually didn't even know you could buffer it. I thought it wouldn't go on cooldown, but the Shank, he knows better than me. He gets out of that situation easy peasy.
Shows us how to play it out, but 69 is going to be by the side though. Valda's coming in as well. Tipper is now joining in. It's the Raid bosses to find EVOS Esports. Collected the first in the mid lane, then looking to take down a second. It's going to be the Kha'Zix. Target the focus. Put your eyes on the Shang. He's going to go down. It's a current call. Call at the time of death. Geek Fam won't be able to respond. EVOS Esports charging into the base and taking down the Camille. And EVOS Esports will secure themselves the 3rd seed if they manage to take down Geek Fam, who are holding on to the Nexus. But the minion wave being cleared. Rich tries to jump in. Hockey still alive, and you have to show him some respect. Velders almost takes down G4, but the flash from the Orianna that gets into safety. But the return from Tipper takes down Nyx. And moving on to Hockey's auto attack, it's Q1, Q2, Q3 for that double kill.
And the game courtesy of Tipper. This man, he gets my vote for MVP just off that play. Really good stuff there from Tipper. His Riven is proving to be a force to be reckoned with, and I think that's something you are gonna want to ban if you're facing EVOS in the playoffs. Speaking of playoffs, take us through Mechanism. What's gonna happen to EVOS?
Yeah, it's a crazy play from Tipper coming across. You know, he really showed us exactly how powerful he was on that Riven pickup. It kind of feels like the Renekton that we've seen